Dodgers dropping a bombshell on Shohei Ohtani's return to the mound. That story and a ton more all coming up on Dodgers Digest. Brad J here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Turn on those freaking notifications. Fastest growing YouTube Dodgers chasing out there, and we'll keep that growing. All right, let's get started. Huge Shohei update on pitching for 2025. The bombshell has been dropped. And is it a bombshell? I mean, here's the deal. It seems like that we just have to go back and forth. Is he going to pitch? Is he not going to pitch? When's he going to pitch? Is he going to go? Is he going to pitch a simulated game? Is he going to go do a bullpen session? What's he going to do? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? Is he going to do that? I mean, I don't care how you slice this. And I have been quite vocal on this whole thing, all right? And I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a prediction here that is going to hold up all the way through, all right? Shohei update on pitching. Injuries. Let's get started with that first. Injuries, a big problemo, okay? He's had 2 major injuries. If you do not need him, and I don't know, hello, McFly, if I have to tell you this again, if you do not need him, why would you take the chance of him injuring again? And the last injury was no joke, okay? There's one reason right there, to not pitch him, right? Need the bat. Do you need the bat? You freaking Silver Slugger Award, MVP, I don't know. Maybe you need the bat. Yeah, you need the bat, okay? Another thing, reason number 3 here. Chance on losing the dude for the season when you don't need him to pitch? What is going on? And the fourth, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's plenty of pitchers that are ready to start. In fact, too many to start for the Dodgers. All right, so let's get right into the story off the bat. All right, will Shohei Ohtani pitch in 2025? Manager Dave Roberts said in January, Ohtani is likely to resume pitching sometime in May. Bull crapola, okay? I will drink, okay, hold up. I will drink coffee out of this shoe, all right? Just like I've done before. You can see the stain of the coffee there, okay? I will drink coffee out of this shoe if Shohei pitches in May, okay? Trust me on that one because I will back that stuff up all day long. All right. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this story. Ohtani. He last pitched for the Angels 2023 season. He just went 1.1 innings in his final outing of the season against the Reds, initially being pulled due to arm fatigue. You don't like the sound of that, right? When you need his bat, you hate to see, oh, well, his pitching, yeah, he had arm fatigue. Instead, he was later ruled out as a pitcher for the remainder of the 2023 season and the entire 2024 season due to the UCL tear in his pitching elbow. That is a gnarly injury. That's pretty big time, right? Since then, Shohei has operated exclusively as a designated hitter. All right. Now, why do you take that chance? Give me some reasons why you take that chance. I see people pop up and say, oh, no, Shohei needs to pitch too. Well, give me the reason why he needs to pitch and hit, okay? Just please. What does Shohei have to say about that? Dodger Nation, thank you for this one. Shohei Ohtani explains why his pitching progression was halted with the Dodgers this spring. And he makes it sound like it's his call. And I'm pretty sure he has some say in it, but you know the Dodgers are going to make the call ultimately on the health of a player. I wanted to prioritize the hitting aspect as we were heading into the season to give a little breather mentally and physically on the pitching side of things. And does that not speak for itself right there? Does it? Think about it. The mentally and physically, a breather from that. Because it's a lot going on than just focusing about hitting the ball at like 118 miles an hour out of the ballpark, okay? It's a little bit different than that. Okay, now let's look at stats. Let's really go into the stats here. Okay, here is, excuse me, here's the Shohei stats. 2018, you see that. He appeared in 2 games. It was 4-2. ERA 3.31. 2020, that's when he had problems. I think that was the second surgery or something, was right around there. You can see that. Did not really do quite well. It was in 2 games, 37.80 ERA. That was the do tell that, yeah, okay, you're done for a while. Look at his whip, 6.6. Shut the front door. That is a lot. And 2021, he appeared in 23 games, had a great record, 9-2, and I love the 3.18. That's a great ERA for him. Had 156 strikeouts, but really, the year you really got to pay attention to, except for the amount of losses, is the 2022 season before he became a Dodger, right? A couple years before that. 15-9, but look at the ERA. That's what stands out to me because he appeared in 28 games, the longest workload that he's had as a pitcher, in the league. So 28, that's a lot. Look at that ERA, 2.33, and look at the strikeout numbers, 219. And there's been some predictions of a few different people saying that he's going to get 100 strikeouts, have over 50 home runs, and have 20 stolen bases. I think that's the prediction I heard for this upcoming season. So look at the numbers, and then go look at 2023, 10-5, 3.14, still a solid ERA. Innings pitched, slowed down, did about 30 less innings, 167 strikeouts. So his total is 608 on the strikeout side of things. So I don't know what you think about this, but I'll tell you right now, I just think I got one word. One freaking word. Caution. All right? You need to have caution with Shohei going into the season. You don't just go, willy-nilly, and I'm going to throw him in there. He's going to pitch, blah, 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 blah. Okay? No. That is not what you do. Okay? And Mark Pryor, well, we caught up with Mark Pryor. He's on the Dodgers Digest quote of the day. And here's what Mark Pryor says about Ohtani returning to the mound. And this says a lot. I like to see this. Here's Mark looking all like solid right there, ready to go. We'll just see kind of where we're at after the next 10 days. I'm talking about 10 days of getting back to the stadium and getting ready for the home opener, 6 games in a row at home. This isn't a situation where we need him to round out 5 starters in a traditional sense. 100% correct. You still got May out there looking for a job, and where are you going to put May at? So you have a traffic jam. When Kershaw comes back, that's another guy. He will not be a traditional starter anyway. Okay, read between the lines here on Mark Pryor. He will not be a traditional starter anyways. Okay, well, why won't he be a traditional starter anyway? Well, because he's probably going to be pitching once a week. So not in like, hey, you're up every 5 days or whatever it is. It's not going to be that way. The idea is to, and this is where Brad Stradamus is right again, and the idea is to make sure we have him at the right time of the season to maximize it. Mark Pryor, thank you for the words of wisdom, okay? Brad Stradamus promised that right there. I said it, man. They're going to save him, and they're going to have him ready to go. And if you remember what I said, and I've said this, I don't know, for the last 2 months, I go, well, you keep him ready to be able to pitch. Maybe he's pitching simulated games. You see his velocity. You see his ball placement. You see the ball movement. You see all the stuff he's doing, and he's doing the right things. And you face some live hitters here and there, but maybe not have him start games so you don't put tax that on him. But if you need to, then you ramp the F up. You ramp up. You ramp up and get him ready to go is how you do that right there. You ramp that thing up. All right? And then if you need him and a couple guys go down, you got him. And then you have to use him. But why do you throw him out there when you have a plethora? Once again, I use that word again. Why do I keep saying that? Once again, if you have a plethora of pitching and you don't need him. So why risk it for the biscuit? Because you're going to get the biscuit anyway at the end of the season. So don't risk it right now because you can't win the World Series in May. You can't win it in April. You can't win it in June. You can sure lose it with those 3 months, but you know what I'm saying about that. All right, tonight's matchup, you got Snell, Scooble going at it. Who's had success against them? Well, who's done what? So let's see what the Dodgers have done. There you go. There's the numbers right there. There's been not a lot of ABs against this man. So if you look at the one thing, the ABs right there on the far right, not far right, but middle, let's say. You see Edman right there with 8. So Edman's faced him 8 times. You've had Freeman has faced him 3 times. Hernandez 4 times. That's Kike, and Teo 4 times as well. Then you also got Ohtani has faced him 6. Pajes 2. Rojas 2. Smith has faced him 3 times, and Taylor. And not a lot of guys have had a lot of success. But if I'm to do a prediction on today's game, here's my prediction right now. Bank this right now. Take this to Vegas because you'll win, okay? I'm going to predict someone who will hit a home run, and I'll predict the score. I predict a Dodgers victory, low-scoring affair, 3-1. Dodgers take the win, and Edman goes deep. Tommy tanks. All right, there you go. And that's how the game's going to play out tonight. I'm calling it right now. Trust me on that. Hey, that's going to do it on Dodgers Digest. Thanks for tuning in. Always subscribe, like, turn on notifications. I got to go, man. Things to do, people to see. Always remember, as you go through the day, to just think Dodger blue and go Dodgers.